Uh, I'm going to talk about an extremely important topic today. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. And it's finding a guru, or in the Buddhist tradition, finding, a teacher, a master. Now, like I said, this is an extremely important topic, and I would like you to get the full topic. I've noticed some people tend to listen only to part one of a two-part talk. We might even go into 3 parts here. So I strongly suggest you click on subscribe, the yellow button up there. It was a Julian 7650 in blue, and then next to it or underneath subscribe. If you subscribe, then you'll have access to all of the videos I have produced, and you will get all the 3 parts in case you have trouble bringing out part 2. It's happened to me with some videos by other people. Also, you will be notified by email every time I produce a new video, which I am trying to do fairly frequently until I feel I've covered pretty much full curriculum, even if, of course, very briefly. Now, I took the liberty of printing some cheat notes. These come from a manual that I composed called a Manual of Buddhist Practice. It's a complete path. It covers the path, a complete path, although not in great detail. But it's something that a beginner or an intermediate, or anyone for that matter, I review it, can use as a general guide to the path, to a complete path. So if you're interested in getting a copy of that, you can have it free. It is copyrighted. You can have it free by emailing me. Send me a message through YouTube and with your email address, and I'll send you a free copy in doc format, Microsoft or Office doc, DOC 97 format. So finding a guru. Now, in my experience, I want to mention a couple of things first that I've thought about. One is that, if one reads Trungpa Rinpoche's books particularly, one might even be frightened off from a relationship with a master, a tantric master. Trungpa Rinpoche has his own unique touch on that. He makes it sound almost like a master is demonic, that is the razor's edge, is extremely dangerous. Some of the warnings about the danger of Tantra are really designed for Asian folks, for Tibetans, to be respectful, is to make them respectful of the seriousness of undertaking a commitment to the path. But Westerners, we don't need to take that as a dangerous, scary, negative thing. Again, it's meant to emphasize the seriousness of the commitment. And I think most Westerners go into it quite sincerely and understanding the eventual seriousness. Now, you don't need to go into it fully committed to any master. It's like an engagement. I'll say more about that later. But, you check the master out. You may take weeks or months or years to check a master before you decide, yes, I am this person's student. So that's extremely important to know. And once you get involved, I think you'll find that, it's not quite as intense or gut-ripping as Trungpa Rinpoche at times writes, requiring total 100% commitment and all this. Although you work yourself out, you can work yourself out gradually to surrender and to devotion. And one thing I'll say about realization is no matter whether it takes a month, a year, 20 years, I've been practicing for 37 years total, actually, since 1971. Once you begin to see the light of the path, it doesn't matter, because you realize that your true self is timeless and has no age. So you couldn't say, oh, I wish I'd realized this 20 years ago or 10 years ago. Once realization begins to set in, your individual age is irrelevant. Your real being is timeless. You've been around for thousands of years. So what's a few years, more or less? I have tended to be a very slow, easygoing practitioner, and one of the things that recommends that for Westerners is that you lay a strong foundation, a stable foundation. There are those who are athletically inclined, who are gung-ho, go into it with great vigor, do thousands of prostrations, make themselves sick, and burn out. Things like that. Or go from guru to guru to guru, looking for initiations and fancy visualizations, shallow. So better develop a strong foundation with shamatha practice than also other practices like loving kindness, self manner, and so on. But in any case, let's talk about finding a guru. And like I said, I'll use my cheat sheet to provide me an outline. The first part of this talk is from the outline by Asanga on the Sutra Alamkara, and it's on what you should look for in a master. One, he calls it tamed morality. The teacher should be somewhat ethical, conventional, really. And again, there's much talk about crazy wisdom, and again, many stories about Trungpa Rinpoche's outrageousness. Well, he was a profound, vast master, but difficult to assess, and not a master for everyone. I did study under Rinpoche for 3 years, and I found that environment, that scene, as they called it, was not exactly for me. It was a difficult thing to discontinue, but I think for me it was the right decision. Again, myself maybe not ready to let go completely, but we all take our different paths. The same morality or conventional ethics, it's nothing to sneeze at. Of course, the capacity for concentrative awareness or mindfulness, a person that can concentrate, that can focus, that can be present. Presence, the quality of presence is very important. There's an earthy, full-body quality to a master that you can sense. Calm abiding has completed his training, of course. Also knows the scriptures. Most of the masters have, the equivalent of doctoral degrees from Tibet, and or have gone to Shedra in the West, and can quote scripture directly. Certainly in their writings, you want reference to scripture. You want the authority of the scripture to back what they say. They may say it in an original way, in a different way, in a very cute way, or in a very imaginative way. Trungpa Rinpoche was a genius of description, but everything corresponds to the classical teachings. Good quality should be more than those of the students. Nothing needs to be said about that. Right order of teaching for a student's capacity. You can observe what practices are given to whom, as a beginner, that you're given beginning practices. Also, actually, be careful of very loose-handed masters who provide so-called advanced initiations to anybody that walks in the door. When we talk about dangers in Tantra, again, there are certain practices that could be dangerous, depending. When the Dharma first got to the West, there was some probably experimentation, and some things happened that should not have happened, like dark retreat practices given right away, or certain visualizations given right away. And these could imbalance an individual who doesn't have, again, a foundation, because they bring very potent energies in the person. They teach out of love and compassion. Watch out for, even if a teacher seems very knowledgeable and kind, but, they have a collection of Rolls Royces, or they surround themselves with a little guard with AK-47s, walk away, frankly. A master, of course, a master should have a nice place to live, good food, clean new clothes, a car or two, or maybe a chauffeur even. But, beyond that, then it becomes a little suspect. So be suspicious of royal-like, court-like situations. Masters again that collect cars or have many gold Rolexes. There's a story about